What's going on? Let me make sure I'm live. All right, here we go. Y'all ready? This. I didn't know this was so controversial. I did not know this was so controversial, but here we are. Here we are. What's going on, y'all? Mr. Kingdom Cash, Charles Dyson here. Some of y'all may not know who I am, but I am a father of 10 and been able to leverage myself off of 3 jobs. I worked 2 to 3 jobs pretty much my entire life. April 2013, I was able to walk away forever. And I spend my time helping other people learn how they can do the same thing, how they can, get free of a 9 to 5 and actually make great money from home, right? And it's not hard. It's not rocket science, actually. A lot of people think that what I do is sales, and that is the furthest thing from the truth. I do not sell. I'm not a salesperson. But what I do is I find common sense information and I put it in front of other people. And because it makes perfect sense, people pay and then I get paid. Really, really simple concept. And then I show other people how to do the same exact thing. It's nothing to it. But yesterday I put up a post, right? I had a whole different topic prepared. I'm doing 90 days of value. This is only day 3, right? This is only day 3. And I put up a post that's already controversial. So I wanted to go live about it. Here's the post. Let me read the post. It says, imagine life beating someone up so badly they believe $500 is a lot of money. Then I said, imagine that same person has 1 to 2 jobs and their paycheck is gone the same day they get paid. I'm going to stop right there. Interestingly enough, I was talking about how my life used to be. Me, that's how I used to think. I used to think $500 was a lot of money. I used to be the person working 2 to 3 jobs, and when I got paid, literally the same day, my whole paycheck was gone. I was the guy who had to make life decisions at the gas pump, whether I was going to put gas in my car or whether I was going to get food so my kids could eat. Right? I'm the guy who had to do split payments to purchase salt and pepper one time. So I need you to know who's speaking. Okay? I need you to know who's speaking. I said in the post, imagine getting upset with me for pointing out the truth while this is the reality for 7 out of 10 people who read this post. Now watch this. When I made the post, I knew some people would get upset. I knew some people would respond, right? But the truth is that 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. I don't care what car they drive or how big their house is. 70% of people in America, no matter if they make $40,000 a year or $250,000 a year, 70% of people in America live paycheck to paycheck. That is the truth. Final comment that I made on this post was, imagine sitting on a nail in pain, but not being in enough pain to move and release yourself from that pain. What does that imply? Let's use some comprehension skills. You know what that implies? That the person sitting on the nail is in control to get off the nail. It implies that the person sitting on the nail has the ability, the freedom of choice to get off the nail. but most people don't. And then finally, I said in the post, it could all be so much easier, right? Now, here's where it gets interesting. From my perspective, I said nothing wrong in the post. Of course, I put the post up. From my perspective, I said nothing controversial. I started the post off by implying $500 is not a lot of money. But listen to what I said. I said, imagine life beating someone up so badly that they believe that $500 is a lot of money. I know a lot of people can agree with that. I know a lot of people have that perspective, but just because they hold the perspective doesn't make the perspective true. $500 is not a lot of money. Now I'm about to get into why, right? But somebody came to my page, and I want to say this right off top. If you only come to my page to be a contrarian, to respond to things that you don't agree with, delete me. I don't need the space, right? You don't got to do me no favors. Delete me now. Because first and foremost, that's a broke mentality. I don't care how much money you make. That is a broke mentality. I don't keep people around me who think like that. I'm purposefully trying to offend people today. I want you to delete me. I only want people following me who want to elevate, who want to go higher, right? Or who are already elevated and have something they can teach me, right? Or somebody who thinks on this frequency. If you think, let me jump ahead. Let me just go right in. If you think you are, first of all, if you are a mentor, you're actually coaching people and you believe $500 is a lot of money, I guarantee you, you're not serving your people at the highest capacity. In fact, you're probably hindering them. I do not pacify people. I don't. You know why? Because it won't serve them. I'm not taking my mentality down to someone's level. I require my students to rise up to my level. And here's another thing you should know. You shouldn't follow somebody who doesn't have coaches. Because if they don't have coaches, that means they stop growing. I give my students the same books, the same information, the same people, the same information that helped me elevate my mentality. I give access to my students. It does not serve people to pacify their limitations, their constraints in their life right now, their circumstances in their life. You know what I tell my students? I don't care what your life looks like right now. I don't care how bad it is. It does not have to dictate what happens next. Your current circumstances, what happened to you when you grew up, is not the crutch that I'm going to allow you to use to stay where you are. If you want to change your life, the way you think has to change. And here's the thing. This is the interesting thing. It's people who are elevated, people who make money, people who have changed their life that's in my comment section disagreeing with me. People who coach other people. And I have an extreme problem with that. I got a problem with that. Because it doesn't serve somebody to pacify them. Like when your students come to you and they give you excuses and they give you circumstances in their life that are uncomfortable, what do? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that. I'm so sorry for you. That doesn't serve them. That's not helping them change their life. Now, I'm not saying you got to be without compassion. But what I am saying is, if you're telling your people $500 is a lot of money, you are limiting them. You're not serving them. That's not helping them at all. At all. Because in the grand scheme of things, $500 isn't a lot of money. Now, I'm talking about the American perspective. If you live in a country where there is massive poverty, obviously I'm not talking about that. If you live in a country where the conversion, the difference, like you live off of $150 to $600 a month, obviously I'm not talking about that particular environment. Think. But to come in my comment section with this long soliloquy of your upbringing and what you experienced and how you grew up has absolutely nothing to do with what I'm talking about. And when I'm talking to my students, their upbringing, their current circumstances, I don't pay attention to it. I don't pay attention to it. Because that is not, I'm not going to let you use that as your crunch. You got to make a choice. You want to change your life or you don't. You want to do better or you don't. You might need to read, you might need to get some new information, get a new viewpoint, get a new understanding, a new way of thinking. But it's not in your best interest for me to coddle you and pacify you because of uncomfortable circumstances in your life. That's not how you're going to change it. So why give attention to it? And people who have elevated should know that. At least from my position, from my line of thinking. And if you disagree with me, okay, cool. You can disagree. Just delete me. I'm not saying you got to agree with everything that I say, but on this subject right here, I don't want you around me. I don't want you nowhere close to me. Because to me, that's a broke mentality. And I don't associate with people with that mentality. I don't. I associate myself with people who want more, who are willing to go get more. Not only are you willing to work for more, but you're really willing to attract more into your life. A different way of operation, a different, like I said yesterday, watch this. Like I said yesterday, get a piece of paper, write numbers 1 to 20, and then in each of those spaces, I want you to fill out the attributes of a successful person. I guarantee you, everybody watching this video right now, you could do it. You could get a piece of paper and write down every attribute that it takes to be successful. Think about your favorite athletes, your favorite actors, and favorite actresses, your favorite social media people, your favorite influencer, your favorite business person, whoever it is. Write down 20 attributes of that successful person. I bet you could do it. Now, this is what you got to ask yourself. How do you know that, but you don't behave that way? See, the first step to financial elevation is personal accountability. And this is not, I want to make sure that the people who follow me, this is not aimed towards people. We engage with each other. We support each other. Like for instance, there's a guy that I follow, DeMarcos Chambers. This brother does a lot of good for young brothers and sisters. He does. We in two totally different industries, but I respect what he does. And he shows a lot of love, and I show a lot of love back. Shout out to him. Y'all should follow him, right? Y'all should follow him. I'm not aiming this towards people that engage with me and we actually have, we support each other. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people that are contrarians, the ones that just pop out to disagree. You could go kick rocks for real. You could just delete me. And another thing, just because my brand is Kingdom Cash does not mean weak. It does not mean pushover, right? I'm very direct. I don't have a problem saying what's on my mind. And I don't need people to like me. In fact, I speak the way I speak purposefully to push people away from me that don't want to be involved with what I got going on. I'm only looking for my tribe. I'm looking for the people who vibrate on the frequency I vibrate on. Anybody else, y'all can delete me. I want you to delete me. Make room for the people that I can serve. But if you only pop up to disagree and be contrarian, I don't need you on my page. I didn't need you to be successful till this point, and you're not going to have any bearing on what I do next. And you should feel the same exact way. Make room. Make room. Get rid of me. I'm not supporting you. Get rid of me. For real. I'm not on this social network to make friends. I'm not on any social media to make friends. Don't get this twisted. I am a content creator. I create content. And I'm fishing. I'm fishing for the people who want more. And my students become my friends. That's who I'm here to serve. Right? My business partners. become my friends. That's who I congregate with. The people that's all about elevation, legacy, family, fun. That's what I like. But I'm not fake. I'm not phony. I ain't going to start being fake or phony now. I'm going to read this. This was the response. Imagine growing up with a single mother who worked 96 hours weekly to raise you. Imagine having to heat up your house by opening the oven at times. Imagine being blessed enough to see the other side of things and traveling to 15 countries, living in 4 and seeing every continent outside of Antarctica. Imagine living in Beverly Hills in your 20s where the only other black people are so rich that they are off the radar completely. Imagine saying that $500 isn't a lot of money, all because you've made it to the other side of the financial spectrum. $500 is a lot of money, no matter how much money I make. My experiences in life taught me that there are people that are literally giving their all to make that. And not everyone has the same opportunities. Pacifying. We shouldn't shame people for not having the same mindset to take a risk because many have trauma, which is money anxiety. Pacifying. Imagine being on such a high horse that we can talk down on others. I never spoke down on anybody. Only positivity should be spewed. I didn't say anything negative. We must love and understand. I was not unloving and I was not being mean or rude, right? In fact, the post came from a position of understanding. We are not wired the same. Respect that. We're not. But does that mean that everybody can't be successful because they had unfortunate circumstances growing up? Imagine showing love and moving on without judging people for wanting to sit on the nail. Imagine. If I see you in pain and I have the resources and the information to help you, and I see you in pain, and I know what can help you, but the only thing I do is feel sorry for you, give you empathy because you're sitting on the nail, and I know you have the ability to get off the nail, I don't love you. I don't care about you. If you're a student of Elijah Bryant III, I want you to know that's who you're being coached by. Because you could have just kept scrolling, but since you wanted to be on my post, you wanted some attention, I'm going to give you what you wanted. You could have just kept scrolling. But if you are a student of Elijah Bryant III, that's the way your coach thinks. And he's not serving you the right way. Because let me get to the point about this $500, right? He's the one who made the comment, just in case you didn't know who I was talking about, right? There is $8.24 trillion of cash that exists in the world today. $8.24 trillion. There is $454 trillion of private wealth that is in existence today. 454 trillion with a T. Here's my question. Out of all that money that's in existence, you mean to tell me $500 is a lot? In the grand scheme of things, $1 billion isn't a lot of money. In the grand scheme of things, $1 billion if my whole hand was all the money in the world, $1 billion would be smaller than that dot that I just put on my hand. If my whole hand was all the money in existence, that small dot that I just put on my hand wouldn't even measure up to $1 billion. It's actually even smaller than that. $1 billion is not a lot of money. $1 billion is not a lot of money. I believe that. But guess what? I didn't start off that way. When I was working 3 jobs, when I was driving home crying with tears streaming down my face because my bills was getting cut off, you don't know who you talking to. You don't know who you talking to. You don't know me. Before you comment on my post judging me, I think you should try to get to know me. You don't know my story. Yeah, I got things I I had circumstances that were unfortunate growing up. You're not the only one with a story. But I don't cry about mine. It takes a certain mental fortitude to raise yourself up out of unfortunate circumstances. And everybody has that choice. It's a choice. But when I was driving home with tears streaming down my face because my paycheck wasn't enough to keep my lights and my water turned on, I had to do something. Because there was no other choice. I got children depending on me. There was no other choice. Failure wasn't an option. I had to believe that. I had to keep trying, keep seeking. Every business I started from 2007 to 2012 failed. Every single one. And there was a lot of them. I didn't make one single dollar, but I kept trying. Why? Because failure ain't an option. The only other option there was to keep working until I died. Literally. But I read some books. I got some new information. I started learning about how money works. I got a mentor. That mentor started giving me instructions. I followed the instructions. In 6 short months, from 2012, November 2012 to April 2013, I was able to leverage myself off of 3 jobs. Quit all 3 of them. Ain't worked a traditional job ever since. Continue to elevate. Continue to get more new information. Because this information wasn't given to us at our dinner table. At one point, I thought the only thing I wanted at that point when I was working that hard, I was like, ooh, if I could just make $5,000 a month outside of a job. Yeah, $500 was a lot of money to me at that point in my life. The point of the post was to help people understand that when you do start understanding how money works, $500 is not a lot of money. It's not. Because when you get new information and you start understanding how it works, then $500 isn't a lot of money. And you begin to understand that. You begin to operate like $500 is not a lot of money. But watch this. If you think $500 is a lot of money and you got $1 million dreams, do you think you're going to get there? There's something called Law of the Lid. Read the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Read that book. Goes down John Maxwell's list of books that he wrote. Go read them. You'll learn something. I'm direct. I'm not going to come passive. I'm coming straight at your neck. If you're going to get on my post and you want to be a contrarian and you only want to pop out to disagree with things, and guess what? Okay, cool. I got a voice too. I got opinions too. No, $500 is not a lot of money, and I'm not going to teach people that. Ask my students that are in Ghana. Ask my students that are in Uganda. Ask my students that are in South Africa. If I don't talk to them the exact same way I'm talking on this live. And if you met me in person, it would be the same exact thing. Ain't nothing fake or phony about me. What I believe does not change based on the location of the person in the world. I coach my students that are in impoverished environments to believe what I'm saying outside of their current circumstances. And that's how I got students all over the world in impoverished nations making more money than they ever made in their entire life. Because I teach them that your circumstances and your environment are not excuses to remain where you are. You can have as much as you want to. You can have it more than enough. You can have abundance if you just get your mind focused on it and move your life towards it. All information is not created equal. Some stuff is harder than others. I just happen to find information that is simple to understand, simple to execute, and my students win because of it. We are not the same. So if you teaching people that $500 is a lot of money, that's you. That's your paradigm. That's your view. That's your world view, not mine. $500 is not a lot of money. And I don't want to be around anybody who thinks $500 is a lot of money. I don't listen to millionaires. I listen to billionaires. I've always been that way. Point blank, period. And I don't care who don't agree. Because I'm not talking from what I don't know. I'm talking from changing people's lives. I'm talking from helping people retire in less than a year, repeatedly for the last 8 years. I'm talking from a position of the fastest person I've ever helped retire was 41 days after I started mentoring them, coaching them, and teaching them what I know. I'm talking from turning people's results completely around because of the things I teach, the principles I stand on, and the information I share, the information I give. I'm not talking from theory. I'm talking from actually coaching people and helping people change their life. So let me answer the question again. No, $500 is not a lot of money. It's not. And it doesn't serve you to believe that $500 is a lot of money. That's not going to help you. That's not going to help you change your life. No, it's not. I don't care. Again, I don't care what your current reality is. It doesn't matter how bad it is. If you have a mentality where you're only going to focus on your limitations and your current circumstances, if you can't take your mind off of the problem and put it on the solution, if you can't seek good information with good, reputable, integral people and surround yourself with people who love helping others and take the information and execute on it, learn some new skill sets, some new beliefs about money. You don't do that, then guess what? Nothing changes. Nothing changes until you change. And your current reality won't change until you change your inner reality, the way you think. Hell no, $500 is not a lot of money. No, it's not. I don't pacify people's circumstances or limitations. I inspire them to change it. I inspire them to take personal responsibility, personal accountability for their life and what happens next. Because any other speech to people in those type of circumstances is not helping them. It's not serving them. You are pacifying and coddling people who have the ability, the wherewithal to change their life. All they need is the correct information and some belief in themselves. Belief in themselves. You got enough belief in God. You need some belief in yourself. Yeah, let's go there. Y'all read y'all Bible? Y'all say y'all believe what the Bible says? I doubt it. It's a lot of non-believers talking about they believe. It's a lot of people walking around saying they believe, but they don't. They got enough faith for healing. They got enough faith for other people's situations, but don't got no faith for their own. They could believe for everything else in the Bible except money. You got enough belief in God. When you going to start believing in yourself? Were you not made in your God's image? Are we going to believe it or are we not? What are we doing? Were you not made in God's image? Hello? Where's the kingdom of God? Hello? Where is it? Where is it located? Where is the kingdom of God? Answer these questions. I'm not even going to answer them. You go look in your Bible. I'm gonna take what you say you believe. I'm gonna give it right back to you. What do you believe? Don't bring me this bull crap about $500 is a lot of money when you say you believe in the Most High God. You can. That's another problem. You go sit under these pastors and these preachers that only pacify your situations. Got you believing that you gotta die to experience heaven. No, you don't. You can have heaven on earth right now. I don't care what the economy looks like. I don't care what bills they're passing. I don't care about none of that. I don't care who's president. I don't care. What did you say you believe? This how I talk to my students. This how I talk to my students. Don't tell me your limitations. Don't tell me you can't overcome your current situation. Don't tell me you are not bigger than your problems. And evidently, me and Elijah Bryant III don't believe the same. Because imagine me going to somebody's post that's meant to encourage people. That's meant to encourage people to believe that $500 is not a lot of money, to help them raise their perception, and then disagreeing with it. But I say I love God and I love people. So you mean to tell me you see a homeless man, you gonna go sleep under the bridge with him? You're elevated. You got money. You see a homeless man and he wants to change his life. You gonna go sleep under the bridge with him? Or you gonna give him some resources to help him change his life, help her change her life? I know I said these was gonna be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, man. No, this is important. This is too important for me to just be short. These are people of God telling you this stuff. Just keep holding on. Keep on getting by. You steady praying for money. And God looking down, look at my son, look at my daughter. Just can't get it. I done hung on the cross. What else I gotta do? What else do I gotta do? I done died for you to get everything you need. What else do I need to do? Why are you praying for money? Why are you praying for money? Silver and gold is his. Ain't that what it says? And if you're his, then joint heirs. Did anybody read that part of the Bible? Joint heirs? Are we just skipping over those passages? Are we skipping over those scriptures? Do you believe what you read? Or is it just regurgitating what pastors have taught for the last 6-7 decades? Come on. What are we doing? Be careful the coaches that you choose. Be careful who you give your ear to. Be careful what information you choose to accept or reject. If somebody is telling you $500 is a lot of money, they don't care about you. They don't care about you. If anything, I would venture to say they want you dependent upon them. No, I'm not telling my students $500 is a lot of money. Because it's not. Everybody on this listening to me, whatever number you write, ask any of my students. I tell them. Reletta, one of my students. Who else? A bunch of them. Sit them down. How much money do you want? Don't tell me what you think you could have. I don't care what number you say. What amount of money do you want? Write the number down. I don't care how many commas it got in it. I don't care how big it is. You can get it if you want it. If you want it, you're willing to go after it. You're willing to do what's necessary to grow. You can have it. And I mean it with every fiber in my being. I'm not talking about what you think you can have. I'm talking about what you want, what you desire, your true desires. You just got to be able to be consistent. What I talked about yesterday, consistency, optimism is a superpower. Consistency is a superpower. It is. It took Bill Gates 40 years to become a billionaire. It took Steve Jobs 40 years to become a billionaire. It took Oprah 20, 25 years to become a billionaire. It took Jay-Z 20 years to become a billionaire. It took them decades. If that's what you want, how diligent are you willing to be? Do you understand the value of 24 hours? Do you understand the concept of leverage? Because every billionaire understands leverage. You're not getting there without leverage. In every sense of the word, leveraging relationships, leveraging money, leveraging opportunity, leveraging in negotiations, leveraging. You got to understand it. That's why anybody who says they don't want to do any opportunity that requires and involves leverage, they don't understand money. They don't understand money. Be careful who you listen to. Somebody tag him. I'm going to tag him. I want him to hear this. And I want to see how he responds. I want to see how Elijah Bryant III responds to this live. Does he disagree? Does he agree? Is his mind changed? Or is he going to stick to what he said? I want to know if he's a hypocrite or not. Yeah, I'm saying names. If you coming on my post to be contrarian to what I'm talking about, when I know what I'm talking about, then you're going to have to stand on what you said, or you're going to have to switch up what you believe. Because I know I'm not wrong. I know I'm not wrong. Tag him. For real, for real. Because you're coaching people. Any coach that's going around talking about some $500 is a lot of money, I got an issue with it. My name is Mr. Kingdom Cash Charles Dyson. Go ahead and click that follow button, that like, that heart, right? Or delete me, one or the other. One or the other. Those are the calls to action I have. Delete me or like this post and share it with somebody you love. One and two. Listen, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I know that. And guess what? I'm not trying to be everybody's cup of tea. I'm not on this social network or any other platform to get people to like me. I'm looking for partners. I'm looking for people who want to go higher. I'm looking for people who are already elevated that think like this, so I can surround myself with people like that got billions on their mind. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for, the runners, the one that want to go to the next level, right? And then when they get there, they want to go higher. And when they get there, they want to go higher. I'm looking for the people that want the information that I have, that I've collected over the last 18 years. I want to give it to you. And in the next 365 days, I want to help you take what it took me 18 years to understand. I want to help you understand it faster so you can produce results that you can only dream of. I want you to get those results faster than it took me to get mine. Because that's what a good leader and a good mentor does. I want people to surpass me. And if that's you, get my attention. DM me, comment. Let's have a conversation, because I got some really powerful information to share. I'm looking for partners. I'm looking for people who have some common sense. I'm not trying to sell you. For real, when I show you what I have, if it don't make sense, don't do it. That's all. If it don't make sense, don't do it. But I know what I got. It's common sense. It's common sense, right? And I love helping people. I appreciate everybody in the comments. Baby, I love you. Thank you, Tabitha. Love you, Mama. Thank you. I appreciate you, Denithia, Danny, Christy. I appreciate y'all. The people who know me, they know my heart. The people who know me, they know my heart. The people who are my students, those are the ones I care about. Those are the ones that I care what they think. The rest of y'all, I don't really care. I don't care what nobody has to say negatively about me. It doesn't bother me one bit. I sleep like a baby every night, right? I'm looking for the people who are looking for something more so I can give it to you. Full disclosure. Full disclosure. If this Facebook Live was not any indication, I'll have compassion, right? I'll have compassion, but I won't coddle you. I won't feel sorry for you because that won't serve you, right? I'll lead you. I'll get in the dugout with you. I'll get in the mud with you. Not only will I show you, but I'll work with you, right? And all my students will tell you, I do. I do. But what I won't do is I won't coddle you. Yes, we all have unfortunate events in our life that takes place, right? You think Denzel Washington, Angela Bassett didn't get a phone call while they were shooting a movie that they didn't like and had to still perform when Isaiah Thomas's daughter or sister died, and he still, the day his sister died, he went and played for the Boston Celtics and dropped 50. He still had to perform. You think high level, high quality people that have big goals and big dreams, you think they don't have to execute through some unfortunate circumstances? I'm telling you, they do. I've done it. And I continue to do it. There is no elevation without execution. So I'm going to hold you to a standard because that's what it's going to take to elevate your life. If that's not what you want, let Elijah Bryant III coach you. Let him coach you in his mindset. Thinking that $500 is a lot of money. Let him go teach you. Come on now. Come on now. That's all I'm saying is I've been there and done that. I started my journey. I started my journey with more responsibility than 99% of people who watch this video. Late wife, 7 kids, and then 8 kids, and then 9 kids, and now 10 kids. I think I know a thing or two about how to change somebody's life. Not only because I changed my own, because I've changed other people's lives. Not me taking credit for what they did. I was just a vessel. I gave the information. I worked with the person. They executed on what I taught them, and it changed their life. Guys, it could be so simple. That's why I ended the post. What did I say at the end of that post? The end of the post I put up. I said at the end of the post, it could all be so much easier. That's what I said. And I meant that. It could be so much easier if you were willing to change your mentality. If you were willing to stop rehearsing the past, let it go, and move forward with what you got in front of you. Take opportunity seriously and elevate your life. That's my message. So do I believe $500 is a lot of money? No. $500 is not a lot of money. Watch this. $10,000 a month is not a lot of money. $20,000 a month is not a lot of money. $100,000 a month is not a lot of money. It's not. But guess what? I built my mentality up to this point. I built it. I brainwashed myself to believe in myself because there was no other option. There was no other choice. Failure is not an option. My students know this. I tell all my students this. Failure is not an option. It's not. It's not even the realm of possibility in my mind. Failure doesn't exist. Failure exists in the mind of someone who's willing to give up. You got a lifetime to produce legacy money. That's enough. That's enough money. That's enough time. You know why? because it's been done over and over and over and over and over again by every shape, color, creed on the entire planet. You are without excuses. Let me say that one more time. You are without excuses. Failure is not an option. You can do anything you put your mind to. I'm Mr. Kingdom Cash Charles Dyson. Like this video, share this video, tag Elijah Bryant III, because I really want to know. I want to know. I want to know if he's going to stand on what he said, or if now, based on this video and what I said, he's willing to change his stance. I want to know. You inserted yourself in the conversation. Now I'm interested. I'm interested. And I want all his students to see it too. I want to know. That's just me. Because you could have kept scrolling. You could have just kept scrolling. But if people come to my page and you want to be contrarian, I got time today. I got time today. I want to know now. Now I'm interested. Now I'm interested. And guess what? There's no animosity whatsoever. No animosity. I just stand on what I say. I believe what I say. I can back up what I say with facts, right? With statistics, with truth, spiritually, financially, however you want to take it, whichever direction you want to take the conversation. What I say, I believe in. And it works. That's it. See y'all tomorrow, 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.